Welcome to the Trades Podcast, a podcast about the business of home improvement and promoting the trades to young adults.
That's right. This is the Trades Podcast. We're excited to bring just another episode of amazing insight, amazing information, stats, testimonials, stories, and just bringing just value to business owners out there in the Trades Podcast to one continuously just shine awareness and what's going on. And if you can take some key points out of this, this is what we want. So I'm Danny.
And I'm Jeff.
We're going to get this thing started because check it out. We got Jessica and Joe with Harts Service. They're out there in Tacoma, Washington, but they cover a wide variety and area of Washington. So check it out. Give it up for Jessica and Joe, friends and fam. Jessica and Joe, how you guys doing?
Hello, guys.
Doing great. Excited to be here.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yes, yeah, us too. As we were just talking, just kind of getting ready to get the podcast and recording started, just getting to know who you are as a company and just the team dynamic. So we're excited to hear a lot more about one, you guys' experiences, where you come from, and like the industries and stuff. But we're excited. Go ahead, Jessica, Joe. Go ahead and introduce yourselves to the podcast world.
Yeah, so I'm Jessica. I'm the general manager here at Harts Plumbers, Electricians, and HVAC Technicians, based out of Tacoma, Washington. We cover Seattle, Olympia, up into the Puget Sound. Originally a plumbing and sewer company for many, many years, and then we branched out into electrical, and then last year and a half into HVAC. So exciting things. We cover all the trades now, are able to serve our customers. I've been in business, I think, 11 years now, and I've been here 6. I didn't actually start out in the trades, but tradespeople are superheroes. So I'm so excited to be here and to be helping Harts grow.
Hi, my name is Joe, and I'm a residential electrician, journeyman electrician. I've been in this company for a little bit over a year, and yeah, I'm just happy to be here with you guys and making me part of this. Appreciate this.
Yeah. This is definitely where it all starts. Just to hear stories within the people that are behind a lot of the home improvement side. When something goes wrong, who do you call? You call a contractor. You call someone that's going to come fix something and that has the knowledge, that's not going to burn the house down or make someone mad or cause even more of a damage. So that's exactly why we do this, so we can hear exactly the stories and testimonies of who's coming into people's homes. So we're excited. Yeah. What do you think, Jeff?
Well, we've heard a little bit about the company before we started and Joe's journey. So I'm excited to hear a little bit more about that.
Yeah, just ask me.
I know, right? Well, so Joe, you mentioned that you're coming out of journey. I think you mentioned, right? But last year you and even just coming into the company. So just kind of give us a little background of where did you get exposed to the trades and what led you to Harts Service?
Well, I started doing electrical when I was like 25, I think. So I've been doing this for a minute, and then took a break in between, but I finally was moving to different companies, and I applied here, and actually had a different person that worked here. He actually helped me out, and making connections in that kind of trade. It helps you to know people, and then you learn all kinds of trade. But he helped me out, and I applied, and then I got hired here, and I was an apprentice when I started, and then I journey out here. This company gave me the experience.
We want to thank our sponsor. Superior Flooring Cabinet Designs is one of the landmark family-owned businesses in Encinitas. Owner Cheryl Robertson, with years of customer experience managing her family's hardware and cabinet business in North Park. Cheryl Robertson and the Superior team dive deep to learn about your project and help you find the perfect solution for your flooring and cabinetry needs. Call today at 760-436-0900 or visit www.superiorfloors.com.
Journeyman, because I was going to become a journeyman, and I was so nervous. to be having that responsibility. And being an apprentice is good. You're learning, but it gets real when it's on you. Everything's on you. So you have to use your brain and your knowledge to what you need, what you're doing. Like you said, to make people's house safe, right? So I go to people's houses, and when they look at me, they like, "You're gonna fix this," And I'm like, "We're gonna fix this." And so, I always have a good experience doing that. And also troubleshooting, finding out what people did before I did, finding out what anybody else has done to that, and I have to fix it. And so, but other than that, I think I'm getting better at what I'm doing. I've learned, like I
She's
said,
excellent. She's
she
very
gives,
modest. She's very excellent.
and I try to just do my best and use my knowledge, and we have our colleagues that if I have questions, we call the guys. And hey, if I don't have the answer, we always make sure it's safe or something. But I've done it. Yeah, I've been here for a year, like I said, and just continue to grow. I
Hmm.
want to grow. I definitely want to see myself. I'm doing more stuff in my life, and as in the electrical field. And so this is a good step because this company has given me the opportunity and the chance to grow and not just stay on one spot, be able to see more things and just be happy to be part of this. And I've been employee of the year, employee of the month. And so that's really something I'm proud of myself. But and besides that, I've learned a lot in the trades that it's what you know how what to do things your way, but just make them safe. I've gotten things from linemen, and they come to my jobs and they're like, "Hey, don't do the job I do. Do it your way, but do it the right way and do it safe." And it has taught me a lot as a woman too. Being a woman, it's a big thing. I have not been any feel like minority at all. Because I don't feel like I am. I've been treated with respect in all the companies I work for. Not everybody gets treated like that, and I totally understand that. But as my journey has been really great. And so I can say that there's actually good people that actually accept your work and they're happy to have you in their home, especially with women and having somebody else, a man come into their house and do the job. It gives them a little bit of peace when a woman comes into their house and they're happy to see us. They're happy to see me. And I hope we get more women in the trade because I think we can make an impact on just not working safe, but being safe on people's homes and giving peace to people's homes, having them in their house. Um, I think I've learned a lot on that because I can see where I work with plumbers and I'll be the only girl working in this house. And the customer will come and talk to me. And I'm like, well, you can talk to the boys. He's like, well, you can go talk to them. And I totally, but I try to understand, hey, they're good guys, but I don't know their experiences. So I do try to make sure everybody's in the safe environment because we're here to just do what's right and being in the trade, a lot of people are skeptical, they like their house the way it is. And when something's new, a lot of people don't like changes. So you have to really explain things to them, to their knowledge, to where they can understand it, and to be my best way to make them happy. And so I think when I leave their house and they're happy that their lights work and they got a new switch, they're excited, and that's makes me happy too because it's like I did something for someone, and that means I'm doing good on my job. It's an important thing. But I started as in when I was young. My sister was actually a journeyman, and I started working with her. And she was my boss, my little sister. And so I kind of continued to that trade, and COVID started, and it affected a lot of people. And she kind of stopped doing the pursuit of electrical, and I continue on that journey. So now I'm the second journeyman in our house, and so I ended up really liking it. At first, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it, but now it's just irrelevant to me. It's just like I know what to do, I know what it needs. If I can't fix it, I'll find a way to figure it out. But I'm really happy I chose this trade. I'm not a computer smart person. I'm more of a field person. I use my hands. And this is something for me that I can use my time and energy to be able to learn because I like to keep myself busy, and in troubleshooting, really gets me going to where like, okay, now we got to do this and we got to do that. It's like a little maze that you have to figure out how you're going to get to the other side. But I've learned that it's just you gotta just keep going, And sometimes it's so much easy stuff that you learned, and it just comes easy way to do it. And I hope I can grow more as a person and learn as I go as a journeyman.
Yeah, I think the residential trades are so fun because you never know what you're walking into in
Yeah.
a house, right? And every single situation is different. And so it's a lot of figuring it out and juggling it. I mean, I'm sure new construction is also fun, but residential's in my heart for that.
Absolutely. Couple quick questions.
Yeah.
Do you find that when you're doing troubleshooting, is that one of the more challenging aspects of a job site?
It is because like I said, I have to find out what somebody else did before me. And a lot of those we get homeowners that like to do their job, and that's fine. That's totally okay. It's your house, you do whatever you want. But when they don't do it right and I come to fix it, then it comes there and I really have to find out what happens, and asking them questions if they did something. They deny it, but then they end up telling me, yes, I did this, and I'm like, okay, so explain to me what you did. I'm here. I'm not judging you. I'm not here to judge, but I do want to help you. I want to help you. So I'm here to help you. And so we ended up, yeah, it gives him, like I said, that comfort and trust. It's building trust. So they do open up and I troubleshoot what they did. But it does tell, yeah, like answering to your question, yes, it's a yes to find out difficult, more challenging. But I've done to where sometimes it's repetitive. I was like, oh, I did this before. And then it's like, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
But sometimes I do have headaches where I'm just like, I don't
Same
know. I've done,
story, different house. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, different story, different house.
Yeah. And my other question is, when you're dealing with homeowners, it sounds like you're a very confident person. Do you think that makes your clients feel more comfortable dealing with you?
Yes, yes. I am very confident. And so yes, I think the trust that I introduce myself to them and I do take consider their matters and their feelings, and what they want me to do and why I'm there. And so in this company we have a checklist. And so I have a checklist what I do with every customer and what I'm here for and what I need to do. And I stay in this room. I'm not wandering in your house. If you have questions, come get me. And so I think that helps them to give them a little bit of a trust that I'm not just a stranger. And they can trust me for more future plans on their electrical field. So it does. Yeah, I think me to introducing myself and calling it on normal personal basis, that helps a lot. And is just try to attend to their needs, but also as a professional person myself too.
In
Awesome.
Washington, it's a long road to become a journeyman. 3 years, 3 years,
It's like
right?
4 years. I think it's like
4 years in
3, 4 years.
electrical. It's
Yeah.
3 years in plumbing. So by the time you get there, you're an expert, but there's always more to learn.
Yeah, I'm learning every day.
Yeah. And Jessica, so does Hearts have like a system or a customer service platform that builds up to when they initially call? So you got a customer service sequence of events before Joe or another technician shows up at the house?
Yeah, I mean, our call center is amazing, first off. I love them so much, and they work so hard. So they're our first line of defense. And then it goes to dispatch, and our dispatchers are also awesome, and we keep in touch with customers all day. Our biggest thing is letting people know what to expect, right? So we let them know, your technician's going to show up in a bright orange van. It's going to be fully stocked. They're going to look at everything in your house to make sure that, the issue that you called us for isn't related to other sorts of issues. They're going to answer any questions that you have. They're going to provide you a 5-star service. And if they don't, call me back in the office and I will, go set them straight. And then, the technician gets out, and we, follow next star. So our technicians are amazing, but they are all showing up kind of in the same way. Is my car parked well? I've got my booties on. And then They figure out what the problem is, they sell the work, and then kick it over to people like Joe who come in on the back end and provide the same cohesive experience. So her and her service technician stay in close contact. She knows what she's walking into. It's always a little different than you think, but we just try to keep the customers really confident throughout. Lots of check-ins from our customer service team and our dispatchers and our install coordinators, just making sure that everybody is fully informed the whole way through.
Yeah, I think Jessica, you had mentioned it earlier, where Joe is on this edge of being super modest, and Jeff said it also, and he was thinking the same thing, where like that confidence, you can feel it, you can just hear it, and that's just kind of, I think, where my perspective comes in, where you can connect the business to the people. The business to the people that you have in the programs, where you're bringing them in it through their journeyman license, and working through the company. So I imagine, Jessica, you guys are putting some layers for people that are just looking to jump into the trades, or have come from experience of having experience with trades. What does that look like? What's that layers of assistance? Like, even Joe mentioned a checklist of items, where that for me would feel like, all right, I got a checklist, I'm not going to forget anything. This makes me feel confident, so I can do my job better and focus on the actual issue. So I see that there. So if you could talk to a little bit about how would that look like for someone that's coming to your company looking to jump into the trades.
Yeah, so we bring in people who have some experience. We bring in people with no experience. For a couple of years, we ran an academy on our plumbing side. So we brought in people with zero experience. We put them through 8 weeks of training before they got out into a van. We don't have the demand right now. And so when you're coming into the company, you're going to go straight into a van. But they're going out with very experienced technicians. We do training 2 to 3 times a week on the service side, once a week on the install side, so that we're gathering everybody together, because everybody's out in their own van, they're doing their own thing. It's important to bring everybody together and get on the same page, make sure that we're talking the same language, doing the same things. And so we have some amazing journeymen that if you want to get into the trades, that's who you'll be partnered with. We keep people with the same journeyman generally for 3 to 6 months at a time, and then we switch them because you're going to learn a lot from different people. But we found if we switch people all the time, then they're not really getting the depth of knowledge from their journeyman that they need necessarily. And then we have, for our apprentices, we have checkout processes. So we have 5 skills in each trade that, like, broad basis that you need to know. So in plumbing, it's like water heaters, repipes. In sewer, you've got, excavation and lining. And so for each trade, you reach a point where you feel like, hey, I've mastered this skill. Your journeyman says, yes, I think you've mastered this skill. And you do a checkout. So you do a written test to help you prepare for your actual exam when you get there. And then you do a practical where you're doing it by yourself, and your journeyman checks off on it. And then, you start working on the next thing. And so we it's fluid, it's residential, it's something new every day, but we try to give a little bit of structure around our apprentice program so that people feel like, yes, I've gained this skill, I know what it is. And then when they reach a certain point, they have the opportunity to either stay as an install apprentice doing the larger work, or go over to the service side and start running a little bit more independently, going out and diagnosing and giving bids and selling work. And then when they're licensed, if they want to become a journeyman, they can go back to the install side or stay on the service side. I think one thing I would stress to people, whether they're women or men or anybody, is that the trades aren't one thing, right? Like, if you had asked me before I came here about what a plumber does, it's like, oh, well, they go to a house, they diagnose, they sell, they do the work, and then they move to the next house, which can be true, but it also, If you think that your skill is building relationships with customers and selling things, like there's a position for that. If you think, you would much rather spend your time in a crawl space repiping a house than ever talking about money, like there's a position for that too. And each trade is different too. I mean, if you're in sewer, you're outside and you're digging holes and you're, out in the fresh air. If you are an electrician, you're way less likely to end up completely muddy from head to toe. So it kind of depends on what you're into and where your skills are. And, just because you maybe, have a preference for one thing or the other, like there's a spot for you. There's a spot for everybody. And then residential, new construction, commercial, it's all different too. And so there's so many different paths you can take.
Yeah. No, and so I imagine there might be a possible opportunity for cross training in a sense. So if that be something that, employees or everybody that's working there would have a chance to kind of dive into.
Yeah, so I mean, in Washington, the licensing requirements are pretty steep. I think they are in California too. I don't know. Every state's a little bit different. So you want to, be focused on your trade and getting your hours and your experience that you need to get your license for your trade. But since we do have all four trades, and things are busy, things are happening, there is crossing. So when somebody needs help, an electrician might go out and help the HVAC guys install, or plumbing and sewer are always trading apprentices. Sometimes we'll even pull electricians or HVAC technicians to go run on a plumbing crew. And if you're interested in multiple things, there's definitely opportunity to do that. We try not to take people away from their trades too much while they're like trying to get their hours and things, but there's always opportunity to learn. And people move around, so
Hmm.
uh, at our company, plumbing and sewer are two separate things. And a lot of times people get into it and decide they want to do one or the other and they switch. People move from electrical to HVAC and vice versa. So there's definitely opportunity if you get into a company that has all the trades to spend a little bit of time figuring out what works best for you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great.
It sounds like uh, you've grown to a good size where you have that opportunity for all your technicians to grow also.
Yeah, it's been really fun. I came in the company 6 years ago, and I think we were at, like, 35, 40 employees. We're at about 150 right now, which, is a different world, right? I just saw somebody this morning, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I don't know who that is." I gotta go look up that person's picture, which is horrible, but people are coming in all the time and you just gotta make time to, introduce yourself and say hi. But it opens up a whole different world of, possibility for people to, um, you know, not just move trades, but if you want to move up to Seattle, we have a shop there. You want to come down to Tacoma, we have a shop here. You want to be a lead or a supervisor or a manager, like it opens up a lot more opportunities. So it's been really fun to continue to grow. And I think we're going to see a lot of growth here in the next year or two with our HVAC department's finally taken off, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Fantastic. I imagine it's quite challenging if you ever want to have an all hands meeting.
My gosh, we just had one this morning. So we do it once a month. And our poor Seattle folks, we have them come down because it's not the same. Our Seattle shop's only 10 people, so it's not quite the same environment. But it's really fun to get everybody together once a month, and, feel that culture and make sure that, we put like eyes on everybody and have that time together.
Yeah,
But
it's
events are a lot more difficult. Trying to get an event space for 150 people and figure out the date and, pay for everything. It's a lot, but it's fun.
Oh
so
yeah,
is that
that's
like a parking lot meeting with everybody?
We're lucky we have our main shop, and our warehouse has been taken over by warehousey things. But we were lucky enough the building next door opened up, and we put our CSRs over there, but there's a big open warehouse. So we get to have everybody together once a month, and We do barbecues once a month too, indoor, outdoor over there, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, Joe, explain what does that feel like when you get to start talking to other people that might be in their the journeyman license, journey. What does that feel like? What's the conversations around everybody when you get to talk from different locations?
Um, different. I think sometimes we just match the same ideas, and it's like, well,
Yeah.
don't do it like this, do it like that. That's how I do it. We have or advices to new guys that they're going to journey out. We actually have one guy's going to journey out. He's freaking out, and I'm like, you're fine. He's one of our top apprentices. We have really good apprentices, but he's really good. He does what he's doing. He's nervous, and I was like, hey, you're gonna be okay. I was there too. And you're gonna be okay, but do you just use your knowledge? And the minute you just go on that job and do whatever it needs to do, and then you make it happen. It's just like every other day. It's just now, it's just you, buddy. And so it's all on you. But it's just take that pressure off because you've done this 100 times. So it's just a normal thing now. And he's like, I'm freaking out, I'm testing. And I was like, just study. Just study, get that license. And my advice is always to just you do the same things, almost like what I would do, but do it your way. I can teach you a way. And like Jessica said, we do have them spread out our apprentices to different journeymans because I can teach a different way and somebody else can do a different way, right? So you're learning different paths and ways. And once you do your own stuff, then you can do all once. Depends. And so I do try to advise and try to help and teach him. And like she said, we always try to rotate him and help everybody else on what they need help with and just concentrate to know that they're doing what they need to do and to do for themselves. Because a lot of people they just go in there and sometimes it's just do things, and they have no idea. But also have to be in trust with people and just giving them the advice of like, hey, I'm here to fix your electrical, and be like, you can trust me on your electrical. I know I can fix your electrical. I can't fix your life, you know fix something that I'm here for. And so that gives them, that makes them smile. And but my advice is always to just if it feels right, it's right. And you've been doing this for a while and you're gonna be okay. I myself still get nervous on the trades. And so my advice is always to, hey, I just tell the guys, you're gonna be okay. And just do what you know and send it. Just send it.
Yeah, that's great. No, I mean that's always great advice because you get to tell different stories from different perspectives. Even though everything's pretty essential to that Washington area, but
Yeah.
you get to hear different experiences on that part. But I mean, from your perspective, Joe, I mean you've been exposed to it. The trades from your sister, and then you said like you took a break. But what would you say? Um, what would you say that brought you right back? What held you down to say, you know what, this is what I love, this is what I enjoy, and this is why I want to continue to do this and help others.
What made me come back is because I work towards my hours, right? So we
Yeah.
accumulate hours,
Yeah.
and as I, took a break, I decided I was like, if I'm going towards this is a good license, it's a good trade to learn, to know this, and I think what it went me back, it was like me that I can have this license under my belt, and if I want to pursue something else, I can do. But I already worked towards this. So I was like, why don't I finish? And I'm not a quitter. So I was like, I already started. Let's keep going. Let's keep going what happens. And so I enjoy the traveling. I enjoy being using my hands and using my brain and just doing different stuff, from apprentice to where I started in new construction. So I know how that goes. And from being into people's homes now, it being back where I first started in new construction, it really helped me to see the bigger picture. A lot of construction is repetitive, and all that stuff. But electricals, it's almost repetitive too, but different homes. But doing new construction, you see how it's built, how it's happening, right? So consider to where it goes. You're into a house where it's done. You have to visually see there's plumbing here, there's electrical here. this is where it goes, So I have to use my X-ray vision and find out how I'm gonna get to this to there. But what made it back is I missed it. I missed using my hands, my tools. I get excited for a new impact. And I was like, if I get excited for this, it's a good thing, right?
Place to
So
be.
it's a place to be. So I enjoy it. I definitely do. Um I look at my sister, she does computer stuff now, and I'm just like, how can you do this? I'm like, this is boring. But she enjoys it. She enjoys that. Me, I like to enjoy. I was like, I miss working on the field, finishing a project and then going to a next project and going to next. And I take that knowledge to I move on, And so I kind of just missed it. I missed it. And I was like, I'm gonna go back and, and make sure I called. And I was like, hey, my hours are still good. Let's continue. Let's finish this trade. And if at the end of it, I don't want it, then we can do something else. But I have this secured under my belt that I can do this as a person, And being an electrician, it's very important. I enjoy it, and I work with plumbers, sewer guys, and I'm the only girl that works with all these men. I'm the only girl on the field. And so I hope other girls, we get more girls that get recruited over here, but I'm the only girl that works with all these men. And I learned as I working with them I teach them a little bit of electrical, and they teach me or whatever they're working on. So
Yeah.
it's a different kind of dynamic.
Yeah.
I enjoy the field, if that makes sense. And I also like going home and relaxing.
Yeah.
I'm a
I was just
king.
gonna say that I think that's a great talking point because sometimes you will. I mean, like you said, you do find yourself the only woman in the room. I mean, how do you earn that respect on the job site or within the business? So what does that look like for both of you? I would say, that to earn that respect within the job site, especially within a male dominated industry.
As my part, like the guys treat me as just one of their members. That's it. And I enjoy that. They don't treat me less or better, or more or anything like that. We're equal. We're equal because we're at this house and we're going to finish this project. You need me. I need you. Can you help me? Can I help you? And hey, we respect each other's boundaries and traits, so that really helps. But like I said, my experience has always been with respect because, like I said, I'm confident. So I try to teach people to treat me with respect. And if I feel the way that I make sure I approach that, I'm very well known about that. It's like, hey, I'm trying to respect you, respect me. If you want to keep it like that, that's fine. But we're in here and it's just, if you need my help or my knowledge or I need yours, please. So it's always been very, respectful in my side on any kinds of trade that I've had in any kind of company. But I've seen it where, yes, like being a minority, being a woman, it can be a big impact. But as this part where I'm in my life, this company has treated me, I'm just another one in the field, and they're happy to see me and we're there for each other. So I am, like I said, I'm very happy for myself. I made it this far in life and I've gotten nothing but respect. So, and if people don't like me, I can't do anything about it. I can only just be me. And I can only be me because if I sit there and think about people's ideas and opinions, it's just going to be miserable. And I'm not that kind of person. I'm here to I know what I'm doing and I'm just going to go and do what I need to do. And that's it, because my peace matters more than anything else. And I know where I have my license. So I know what I'm capable of.
Mhm.
Yeah. I,
Absolutely.
I'm sure it's not the same everywhere. But my experience here, I think, the women have been treated pretty much the same. Like everybody has just been super great and respectful. We had a few female plumbers come through our academy program, and there was really never any difference between them and their classmates. Everybody got along. There were a few things that we had to sort out. Like I didn't know how often the guys were using the back of their trucks as bathrooms. And so sort of had to sort out some of that with the female apprentices. But it's been great. And, when I came in, I was the only female manager. And now the female managers, there's more of us than there are of the men. And I don't think it's ever been a problem You just show up and you be genuine, and the guys respond. I think the biggest issue in our company when it came to women and men was, I mean, one of the reasons I got brought in is because our office staff started to grow, and our office staff was primarily women. And we had these kind of rough around the edges trades male managers who had no idea like what was happening. Like, the girls in the call center would have an off day and they were like, I don't know, I can't even go in there. And that's evolved over time too. And our, male and female managers are both amazing. But it was a bit of a learning curve, starting. The company was started by a plumber. All of our managers had come out of the field. It was a little bit of a learning curve for them, but everybody's jiving now, and we've got a good mix.
I
So
think we got a little bit. Yeah, I think we got a good thing going on here.
That's great.
We're just taking over, and the girls are taking over the world.
Absolutely, absolutely, and again, just to highlight, you guys are covering, all parts of Washington. So shout out to all the spots that you guys are working in. If you want to let everybody know.
yeah. Oh, you mean the regions that we work in?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So our home base is in Tacoma. From our Tacoma shop, we go down through Olympia, and then up through Gig Harbor, Port Orchard. And then our Seattle shop covers Seattle, Renton, all the way up to Marysville. So we're taking over as far of the state as we can get without getting rural, and crossing any mountains. So
I
yeah.
think even if it's not on our region, we still, if people call us, we go, because they've heard from us, and so we want to make an appearance, and so do our best. And so it don't matter where they are, we got vans.
Yeah.
They're all over.
It matters a little bit where they are, but
That's
You have to
good.
take a van on the ferry to go over to the Puget Sound, or is there?
so there are two islands that we go to, Anderson Island and Vashon. And yes, it takes a ferry. It takes all day. So we try to schedule if there's multiple customers that need help out there. There really isn't a lot of options for them. And so that we do try to get out to them, but it is definitely an obstacle for the people who live out there, and for, service companies trying to get to them. But they need help, and we just try to coordinate it.
And parking, you work in downtown Seattle at all?
Yeah, I luckily less in downtown because we do residential only and we don't do like large apartment buildings and things. So luckily we, skate that, but definitely, I mean, everybody drives a giant Sprinter van. So anytime we get anywhere close to a downtown area, that can be a trouble. But again, I mean, these guys amaze me. I have seen them parallel park a Sprinter van as if like nothing happened, and I couldn't do it. But it's
I
yeah.
drive it like it's nothing now. I'm so used. Then I get in my car and I'm just like, what is this? I'm so used to it. I just having the big van, and you can't miss me. It's always big, bright orange van. And so I'm learning. I was like, I just look at it. I was like, it makes me a better driver. So I'm just moving around, and. But yeah, you can definitely see our vans out there, and they're long, so it's always finding out parking, but when we're all together as a crew, we're like, hey, park here, park there. So we do try to arrange because our vehicles are not small. So we do work in a house and there's like 3-4 vans. We arrange who's going to be in there first, who needs second, and so we access to each other in vans and parts so we can help each other on each trade. So we're not moving a block away. And so we do try to,
Okay.
because we're all there together. So we can always make it easy. They're orange. Yeah.
Yeah, this office isn't very orange, but most of our building is the outside of our building is also very orange. So that's our primary color.
We
I
kind of
see.
identify with that.
I know. I see you out there too. It's so funny.
There
This
you
is
go.
this has nothing to do with anything, but I used to live in Denver, and I did not support the Broncos because I hated the color orange, and I just couldn't wear it. And now everything I own is orange. My nails are orange. I don't know if you can see it. My watch is orange. Everything is orange. Got a rep Hearts. So it's grown on me. I like to see it with your colors too.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's all,
Had to
not
bring it
to
up.
yeah, not to switch gears and stuff, but it kind of ties into it now that you just mentioned it, where like it just continues to keep finding people. I think it's fascinating when we have, over 200 episodes of the podcast, and we always hear the just the fascination of how it brings people back. Either they're exposed to it, they didn't know that they were going to fall into it, a friend exposed it to a family. And I mean, you, Jessica, you said that you came from healthcare and this kind of found you, but like I mean you probably have a great perspective. I mean, what would you say, like, I mean, being in the construction trades now, what's you know what makes it so powerful to be in the industry?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, if you're looking to be a tradesman, like Joe said, it's a career for life, right?
yeah,
You get your license, and that is something that you can take anywhere, forever. And it's a living wage, and it's just a lot of rewarding things about it. And like I said in the beginning, our technicians are superheroes, right? They go into customers' homes every day. A lot of times sometimes we're there for something fun. Most of the time we're there because something went wrong. And we're helping them out, and you just gain this knowledge, and like you are the expert, right? And that's your field, that's your trade. And that's something that I was managing healthcare, but that's something I always was jealous of for like nurses. And it's the same in the trade as like, I wish that when I was younger, I had picked something where it's like, okay, I'm going to study and then that's what I am. Right. And there's just like, I think some steadiness and some peace to that. Like, I am an electrician, I am a plumber, I am an HVAC technician, and this is my job and this is what I know. And I never have to worry about starting over, or where I'm going to find a job, because I can walk into any shop, and I know that that's what I'm going to be. And then for people in the back office, for people coming into the trades, um, the people are just amazing, right? It's a really fun environment. Nothing stays the same. Everything is super fast paced. Everybody is, the guys, they wake up early, they get here early, they're here to work. That's the same in the office. Is super like high energy environment, and every day you're chasing a goal. So, it's not really long projects. It's like, how are we going to win today? And that keeps it like so fresh and like good to come to work, because it's like, okay, we're focused on today. Like, we got stuff to do today and we're going to make it happen. And then tomorrow's the same thing. So, I don't think that there's ever a time where I've been bored,
it's
because
like,
it's just something new every day, right?
yeah, you always got to do a different task. In this company, it's good if I'm at a site and I need something. I call the office. Hey, I need this, and they send somebody. If I'm far away and I can't make it to my parts store, hey, we'll send it to you. That way, I'm continuing. And if we have someone available, then we do try to help each other. And it doesn't have to be somebody in the trade with somebody in the office. Hey, we're running to you, which is really good because hey, I need this, and so it helps us being on the field, not just on the electrical, but plumbing and all the guys, whatever they need. And it's like, okay. So that really does help, but it's never a boring moment. It's always it's done. I had a little struggle here, but the office came through, so it's really good to finish. And like you said, the goal is to finish when I'm at my job. It's my goal is to finish that job in a panel or service or anything I have to do wait for the inspectors. Um it does help to, like you said, it's move on to that from that job and then move to the next one. But it's always the goal is to I'm here and I'm gonna finish this today because it keeps you busy. You're just not just sitting there. So
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Residential is
huge.
really like
fantastic.
everything proof too, right? Like, we're COVID proof. We're mostly recession proof. I mean, things slow down, but they never stop because everyone needs their home services to keep going.
yeah,
So
Yep, exactly to that. Yeah, I mean, again, it's just a testimonial to, like you mentioned, just the strong bond and camaraderie that one is just it's tested over time and it's always been there. and that security. And I think on both ends, like you mentioned, I mean, the business is not going anywhere. If anything, we just came out with some episodes in regards to the Bureau of Labor and Statistics that are talking about the amount of people retiring versus the people coming in. And that is going to be a big trouble for homeowners trying to find people to do the service as well, especially in those specific areas of Washington where you got to take ferries. It's a whole day process. So we need more technicians. We need more
Yes,
Oh
technicians.
yeah, we need
always
more.
more
More,
women.
more women out there too.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Hey, let's do this. Check it out. We're gonna throw you guys a curveball. You guys ready?
Yes,
All right.
so
All
ready.
right. It's 5 in 5. Okay, we got 5 questions. Want to answer them in 5 minutes. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's go. All right. You guys can split up your time. Here we go. What's one habit that made you more successful, Jessica?
My gosh. Watching the board, knowing what's happening with all the vans at all the times. You gotta keep an eye on everything and know where people are.
All right, go ahead, Joe.
Me looking over my jobs and making sure I have everything I need and just going over it, and just like you said, looking at the board and like I'm at a job and it's like look for the next thing for tomorrow. So I'm ahead. So I'm always ahead, trying to make sure I have everything ready to go.
Thanks.
Consistency.
Look ahead. Check the board. All right, next one. What skill is becoming more valuable every year, Jessica?
Goodness. Trades is becoming more valuable every year. I would say being able to talk to people. So not being afraid to pick up the phone, communicate. I think we're losing it, and it's super important to the businesses and to your customer relationships.
Joe,
And
go
then
ahead.
what was again the question? The skill?
Yeah, what is the skill becoming more valuable every year?
I think just like you said, the trade too, just learning more on the field, and every day it's a different challenge. So if I can make it every day a challenge and I can make it happen, I think I'm doing good. So just being able to solve what's in front of me.
All right, love it. People skills, soft skills, and then just the job. Learn more. Don't stop learning. And then number 3, should you hire for skill or attitude? Go ahead, Jessica.
Oh my gosh, always attitude. I can teach people a lot of things, but you got to have a good attitude to show up, especially in the trades. Like we're here to work, we're here to have fun. Like show up positively, and I will teach you the rest that you need to know.
And my thing
Awesome.
would be, I think I would take both attitude and skills because you're on the field, and we're not just, but I'm here to teach you and train you. But attitude, like you said, positive, you want to learn, and I'm here to train you. I think in what maybe you know how to do something. I don't know how to do it, but if your idea is better than mine, let's start out. So I think that skills and attitude, I think that combines both on my on my field because I don't look at my apprentices as a apprentice. I look at them as my coworkers and my extra everything. So if your idea is better, send it.
She's uncompromising. She's gonna get it all.
Nice. All right. Number 4. What's one thing you delegate now that you used to do yourself? Go ahead, Jessica.
Goodness. I think that in the beginning, I felt like I had to be part of every conversation and every big decision. And, you grow and you've got to trust people to work them out themselves. So we have managers now. We also have leads. And so our leads work in the field, but they also lead a group of 5 teammates and they do the one-on-ones in the morning. And so you got to let people join together and get it done. So, I mean, I used to do everything for this company and now I do very little. I feel like I'm the least important person now at this point because we have an amazing staff. So
No, I think Jess does great, for what she does. I just go to the office, they tell me where to be. But communication and trust. And so definitely and personal trust on what we're doing. But I think that would be to trust and personal.
Love it.
And
Love it.
confidence. I think confidence has to do a lot,
Heck yeah. All right. Number 5. What's one change in the trades you actually welcome? Go ahead, Jessica.
that's happened or that I want to see happen.
Let's see that you want to have happen because I think that's a big perspective, especially from the women in the trades.
Yeah, I mean, so I think that's hard for just one, but I mean, I think the conversation is changing and needs to keep changing about what it means to go into the trades, right? I think even coming in here, my perspective was still like, oh, well, if you can't make it in college, then people are going to push you towards the trades, right? And like, I would recommend to so many people that unless you have something very specific to go for in college, like going to the trades, you're going to come out so much better with a career and a skill. And so that continuing to change. And I think you spoke about women, but I think there's still so much as a woman, and I'm thinking about going into trades, like no matter how chill I try to be, there's still that like voice about like what are people going to think about me doing this. There's a lot of expectations, and we got to just let those go and realize that in 3 to 4 years nobody's going to be like, oh, like she's a plumber, that's weird. They're going to be like, oh, she's a plumber making a bunch of money and I'm still doing this, like what a great idea that was. And so like changing the conversation, and then helping these folks out in our state, helping them out with getting their licenses and stuff and making that process a lot easier. That is what I would like to see. And that's something that can be changed, and I hope continues to evolve.
Absolutely. Go
I
ahead,
think
Joe.
learning a trade would be good, on both genders, because it's something good. Like you said, it's good money, and it's a trade to have. And if you don't like what you do, then you have this going on. So I think taking a chance, taking a risk of doing something different that you might not think you have it in you, maybe you end up liking it. You just never know. But if you don't take a risk, you're not going to know what's out there if you don't want to change, right? And people are very afraid of change. But that change can move you in any kind of way. It could be personal, financial, whatever, right? But learning something, I think taking a chance on a trade, even for just boredom, you just never know, and just do it and see what happens. And then I think just taking a risk of something that if you thought about it, it's because maybe there's a little in of like, maybe I want to try this,
Yes.
thinking it, I think you should do it.
Yes, but go to your Harts Service to go through the journeyman license before you change your outlet. I promise you, that'll be good.
Oh, yes. Oh, we still, yeah, I guess if I end up coming out there anyway.
Awesome. Well, that was a 5 for 5. Great job, everybody.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's harder than I thought.
Yeah, I was like, you can make me swing.
No, I appreciate you guys. It's been amazing just to have both of you on the podcast and just to talk about your experience, your company, your region, the culture, the stories, the background, experiences. This is exactly what we want to be able to showcase to everybody out there, whether you're a business owner or again, if you're a young lady out there thinking about a skill, thinking about your career, just listen to this. And if you're a mom, if you're a parent, even just a mentor, send this to those kids that you're that you're teaching and you're setting that example for. So we're excited. Thank you so much, Jessica, Joe. Thank you again, Jessica. If you could shout out, where is the best way we can reach out to you, or anybody wants to reach out to you for services and or a career?
Yeah, hartservices.com. We've got it all there. Contact information, career information. Come see us.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much again. And this is the Trades Podcast. We'll see everybody next time.
Yeah, thank you.
you.